Welcome, everybody. This is the After Hours Podcast. I'm your host, El Caballo, aka Tony, here with my co host, Pucho and Doughboy. How y'all boys doing today?
Chilling, doing good. I'm working a lot.
What about
I'm
you?
good.
Yeah, you good?
I'm good. I'm ready for Joe Biden to be president.
I can see that. A lot of people are. This shit is a
Yeah.
little crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna happen real soon too. It's just about to get crazy.
Isn't it? Wait,
Suppose
this Monday or Tuesday?
I
no, it's
want to
not.
say
It's not. Monday's MLK Day.
I want to say it's Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Isn't it President's Day or it's the 20th
Right, exactly. That's Wednesday.
Wednesday? Yep.
Okay. I could have sworn I heard something about the 18th. Maybe I'm bugged
Yeah,
out.
there's different dates. I think I want to say the 16th. They like officially counted the votes. Like they got like approved or whatever. I don't know. There's a bunch of dates that nobody ever cares about,
Yeah.
but just this election cycle, just because Donald Trump's a little unhinged right now, everybody's caring about all the dates, all the little, minutia of transition of power. People really caring about for whatever.
Yeah, I would care too if I was them. You know, shit's changing. But
Yeah.
when talk about shit changing, last year Game Awards, or actually, matter of fact, for 2020, what is your game of the year? Because everybody has their own game of the year. I have mine, of course, but what about you, Doe? What would be your game of the year of 2020?
For me, it's a little cheap because it didn't come out. It came out, but this is like a second release. But Persona 5 Royale. But it's really good RPG. Like it's turn based. It's everything that's good about the old RPGs mixed in with a lot of good new aspects. I like a RPG game that you could role play in, and this game does that very well. Like you can a lot of activities to do. You can head in any direction that you want as soon as you start the game. It does the first 5 to 6 hours are like a tutorial, but after that, and it's annoying because you want to do stuff, but you can't, and they're like, "Hey, you got to go to sleep," and you're like, "I don't want to go to sleep though." You
Wait,
know what I mean?
it
I want to
tells you
go
that you got to go to
outside.
sleep?
Well, you have a cat that you can talk to, and then the cat is kind of like the tutorial guide, and he kind of is like, "Oh no, aren't you tired?" And I'm like, "No," like um. But basically, it'll stop you from doing certain things for like the first five. The game goes in months. So you play every day as a day of the month. You have stuff that you can do. Eventually you run out of time and you have to go to sleep. So you can only do a few amount of activities. You always have to go to school, but there is summer break.
So
So
this
I
is like a
like those.
real life simulator?
It's what I would call a role-playing RPG, like yeah, somewhat, but you can't be whoever you want. You are a Japanese school kid. Like you're in Japan, you're like 17, 18 years old, and you got to go to school. You just got in trouble from the law. So yeah, that's my
Damn.
game of the year. I like just even the overall aesthetic of the game and like the world building. It
Yeah.
it very much puts you in the shoes of a Japanese high schooler, and that was very fun for me. But I'll pass it on whoever's
Well, I
next.
did have a question about that. So like, I, Persona 5 came out in 2019, right?
Mhm. I think so.
So like, I played like maybe 30 hours or so, and I kind of just got burnt out.
Mhm.
Like, how's Persona 5 Royale different from Persona 5? Because it's kind of like it's like not a remaster. It's like almost like a Game of the Year edition with like other improvements.
Yeah, I that's what I thought, and I was waiting for I was really waiting for like, yo, what's so royale about this game that they have to come out with another. I was like,
$60.
why couldn't they just have updated the game? But then you start to play it, and everywhere they fell short in the first game, they kind of just added something new, whether it be new dialogue, there's new attacks, there's new enemies that so like if you got tired of grinding in the palaces, there's like little ways to make those battles go faster. They added like ranks for your confidants. You have to go and hang out with your friends, and after you deepen your relationship with them, they give you like new abilities for like the palaces and the mementos wherever you go to like fight and stuff like that. So it's there's new places to visit, there's new people to interact with. um all the palaces have been reworked to some degree. um there's grappling hook areas now, so it's there's will seeds, like there's a lot of new ideas, I guess, that they wanted to throw in. But it all works very well in the world, and I could understand why they put so much work into this. They probably were like, we can't just give this for free. And I don't know, maybe a DLC would have worked well, but I feel like they just kind of want to double dip because this seems like the most popular franchise in the series, the fifth one. So I know they kind of just wanted to double dip on that, but I feel like literally every aspect in the game has some sort of extra in it now. So I felt like that was really cool. There's a person named, the last thing I'll say, there's a person named Jose, and he's in Mementos. I like how they call Jose Jose in these games. I'm
Shit
like,
is for
this is,
dicks.
yeah, it's funny. But he so basically in Mementos you used to just go down and there was like no real point of going to this area, but now you have like a point system. You can go to this guy Jose after you've done levels and like collected stamps, and he can change how the entire world interacts with the game. So you'll end up getting more money, you'll end up getting more items in that area, and it helps because yen is not like dollars. I don't know what the dollar variant to the yen is, but you think you have a lot, like 160,000 yen. Like, I got mad money. And like, you go through one palace and you're like, nope, like, this is all my money just to upgrade my armor and stuff. But yeah, that's why I feel like it's worth it. As far as
Yeah.
like of course, get it on a sale. I got it while it was on sale this holiday, but that's what that's why I would feel like
I don't think I've ever
it's
played
worth it.
that game.
It's free with the PlayStation Collection. It's not the Royale version, but the Persona 5 is free in the PS Collection for PS5.
So then let me get this straight. Your 2020 game of the year is a 2019 game, Persona 5.
Yeah. Let me check when it came out for sure. Hold on.
Because there's a lot of good games that came out in 2020.
No, I know.
Because you're pretty much telling me that a 2019 game is better than any 2020
Yo,
game. That's what you're telling
it's
me.
even worse. This game released on 2016.
Oh my god! So the game of the
Yeah.
year for last year is
Yeah. Yeah, the
2016.
game came out in 2016. I can't believe that.
No, that's not true. I think it came out in Japan like early.
Jesus.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure we
USA.
both bought it like right when it came out, and we were not playing it. 20. Sure.
That's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the shit I find funny. This man literally just hit me with a 2016 is the best
What's
game.
even worse is the Persona 5 Royale. At least what it says online, it came out 2019.
Oh my god!
It might be a 2018 game.
This
He's
man,
saying the
though.
remaster that came out in 2019 is his game 2020 game of the year.
No, I thought it came out in 2020.
No, it did actually. It did. Persona 5 Royale in the US came out March 31st.
Okay.
Okay.
So
You guys
Okay.
save. You guys save.
You got saved.
So then it's probably a 2017 game. Now that it's like,
That's
because
fucking
I don't know,
funny.
2016 seems like a far away,
Yeah.
very far away. All right, yeah. Anyway, who's next?
Pucho, let me see what you got.
So yeah, I would say for sure my 2020 game of the year was Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's Final Fantasy VII. It's remade so that it's not like a turn-based RPG anymore. I guess it wasn't a turn-based RPG. It was some active time battle crap, whatever they want to call it. But basically you click attack and then the guy attacks and you have
Like
to wait your turn.
Kingdom Hearts or no?
Yeah, well, the new one is more like Kingdom Hearts, yeah. So
Okay.
it's like basically almost like a button masher.
This man
So
say
not as action packed as something like Devil May Cry or something, but it's like in the. It's cool too because it lets you like freeze time so that you could like tactically like choose. You could still kind of get like those RPG like just taking your time to like pick your moves and stuff like that. But
that's funny.
yeah.
I think it like Final Fantasy. I never really played it. I don't like those type of style of games, but I don't know how a remake can be classified as a 2020 game. Like just because
I
they
mean,
just
I mean,
like
this is a significant remake.
it's just a completely different.
like what's
It's
changed in it?
100%. So I mean, for one, the original came out in 1997, right? So it's a PS1 game. It looks, for its time, it even looked kind of rough, but it's all these, graphically, it's all blocky with these like painted background,
Yeah,
janky
very
controls.
pixelated. Then like the CG looked nice though. Like when it went to movie video and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Those
It was like
FMVs.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
the game's 3 discs and it's like 70% FMVs.
mhm,
So just
Three?
those
It
videos.
was 3 discs back in the days.
Yeah, on
mhm.
PS1.
That's
They're good games.
disgusting.
And even Metal Gear Solid 1. Metal Gear Solid 1 was 2 discs.
Yeah, Metal Gear. Yeah. That was definitely.
I kind of love and miss that about like video game box design. Like when you saw that double decker PS1 shit, you knew you were getting something. Like
Uh-huh. Yeah, when I cracked open that like Final Fantasy 8 and it was double decker and then it was double layered, so inside you open it, there's a CD here, it's 4 discs. It felt ridiculous. You're
yeah,
like, dude, this is the longest. This has
yeah.
to be the best game ever. Is what 8-year-old Pooch was thinking back then. I was like, this is incredible. I've never seen something so big.
Yeah, I miss that jewel case CD design.
The crystal, whatever. Was it jewel? Crystal jewel is what those
Mm-hmm.
things were. Yeah.
Crystal jewels.
Yeah, that thing cracked if you looked at it the wrong way.
Yep.
Really? What the fuck?
It looked fine.
Fragile
Side.
shit.
Sometimes one side would clip off, and then sometimes it wouldn't even clip. It would just slide off both sides, and you just could not figure out why it wouldn't go back in. It would
That
just
used to
slide
get
off.
me so. It was just the two little things with the little buttons sticking out, and you're like trying to get it back in. It clipped back in, and then you'd open it, and after 2 days later, you'd open it and just go. The whole thing would come right off, and you're like, "Fuck!" Like,
It was almost worse than having it broken. When you had it broken, you had a reason. But that was like didn't make sense.
you had a hope, and you couldn't get it to stay.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot about that. That was terrible.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a couple shout outs. I really enjoyed Hades. It's like a roguelike, kind of like Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon, something like that. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
Doughboy actually put me on it.
I played that for a while, and then it just dropped off the face of the earth once I like beat it. I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like-
That's usually like that with most games. Oh shit.
I played it for like 25 hours, 30 hours though, and it was a lot of fun.
Damn.
Hopefully they make some sort of and it's a small game. It's a game you could beat in 45 minutes. That
That's
was like
fucking-
my personal best, like 48 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
And but that game was fun. It was like Rogue Legacy. Like it reminded me of Rogue Legacy as well.
Oh, I enjoy playing Rogue Legacy when
Yeah,
Pucho
Rogue
introduced
Legacy
that
is
shit to me.
amazing.
I never really beat it
It's
though.
actually, yeah, those games are. Yeah, you gotta play a long time before your character gets good enough to like beat it. So.
Yeah, I'm not down.
But those are hands down my favorite kind of games.
Yeah?
Yeah, roguelites. Ever since Pucho put me on to Binding of Isaac, that's it. I found like a new love for like gaming. And then they had FTL. FTL is like another amazing roguelite. And they're just like there's like a whole new genre of games that were spawned from these roguelite games. I appreciate them.
Yeah, I prefer the genre of what they call rogue light, which is like not exactly a rogue. It's just like easier. So that's sort of like the Binding of Isaac or Rogue Legacy or
Oh,
Hades,
I didn't
where
even know that.
yeah,
That
yeah. Because like Rogue, like FTL is closer to a rogue like
in
in
the
the
fact
sense
that it's
that
hard.
yeah, like you start off every run and you don't start with anything different than you would on any different run. If that makes.
Hmm.
Whereas like the Binding of Isaac, because you unlock items as you go, the game just gets easier because your item pool is better.
Oh, it's just
Hades,
like
your
progression.
character,
You just
yeah,
progress
there's
to be a better
progression.
player.
Hmm.
And in a true rogue game, there is no progression. Every run is you start at zero and you try to win.
Ah, okay.
And in those games, I don't like it as much because like when you lose, you just lose. It's like an arcade game. The game's over. You got to start all over again.
Damn.
And it's like I don't know. I enjoyed the aspect of like Rogue Legacy. You get as far as you could get. You lose, that sucked, but now you got 10,000 coins. You could upgrade. Buy different weapons, all this different stuff. Go back in again, and now you're a little bit better than you were
I thought
before.
the fact that like time passes by and now it's one of your like great grandchildren that are going in the fucking shit,
Yeah,
but somehow they have like some sort of deformity or like some sort of mental illness. It's hilarious.
Oh wow.
they had
Yeah, you'll have like three grandchildren to pick from, and they all have like a benefit and like there's a pro and con for each one.
So you just choose the lesser of the evil, I guess.
Yeah, and they're all different builds. Like there's a glass cannon build, the Hokage. It's like crazy damage, but like you get hit a few times and you're dead. Then they have tank builds that could take a lot of hits. So you play depending on how your skill level, you feel like your
Or
skill
your
level
play
is.
style, in a way, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Normal
I think
game.
once you get good enough in those games, you either choose like either super high DPS like the Hokage or like one of the characters that have like high magic. But yeah,
Mhm.
you pretty much stay away from like you're basically just shooting for how much damage you do. So like I enjoy those kind of Twitch, reflex type of games where like platform and stuff like that. So I tend to just pick Hokage and just one shot most enemies.
No.
It's the smartest thing to do. You have to learn the boss patterns though. Like
Yeah,
it's
because they'll destroy you in 2 hits.
So you're saying you won't be able to beat it the first try. You gotta like just look at the boss patterns and attack.
Yeah, basically figure it out. Like my first time playing through Rogue Legacy, it took me like I don't know, maybe like 100 runs or something before I beat the last boss.
Yeah,
And
he's gotten boss patterns down that I could not. My brain just couldn't do it. Maybe now that I've played a lot of like Exit the Gungeon and like Enter the Gungeon and stuff like that, maybe I like could do better, but not back then.
Hmm. Well,
what about you? What's your game of the year, Tom?
I might sound like a fanboy, maybe because of the hype, and I also, I also want to thank Pucho and thank both of y'all, right, for putting me on the game and bringing me back to the PS4 realm, because I was on the Xbox fucking slide, like, and that was also due to y'all two because y'all were busy with life. Like Pucho was in college, didn't have time to even sleep, let alone try to game a couple hours throughout the day. So and then Doughboy just kind of fell off whimsily dimsily by himself because Pucho wasn't around. So then I just decided to go the Xbox way and become that dude. But game of the year for me would be Last of Us Part 2. Phenomenal game. Most anticipated game, I think, from myself and actually probably for everyone else. The storyline in that game is what really brought me back to PlayStation. That remastered, I came late in the game too. Like you guys had like way more time on that shit.
The story of the first game, bro.
Yeah, of the first one brought me back to PlayStation. And just playing that, I've never played a game since Metal Gear that I wanted to know the story and how it ended so fucking bad. Like that game literally brought life of video games back into me again, I guess you could say. Like it made me want to play storyline games again. Because I was just an online dick. I only wanted to play multiplayer, and there's nothing wrong with that. So when I say dick, I'm not saying, like, you know what I mean? I'm just,
You were just a shooter, bro.
Yeah, I'm out there
You
gunning,
love the shooter games and
running and gunning and stabbing. I'm out.
Madden,
It's just
NBA
it's
2K.
more of like just playing with somebody. You know what I mean? Like that's the only like people play video games mostly to have fun and relax. And for me,
One
it's playing
side
with
note
people.
though. One side note, those videos you created when you were an Xbox to get Xbox exclusive and you were showing like all your kills in Battlefield 3, those are like yearly like I rejoice when I see those cuz they're just so hilarious and what you're doing is actually pretty impressive. I got to give it to you.
No, yeah.
You got you got a headshot in on something that I could not believe you got a headshot on. I'm like, hold on, it
With
did
an
say he got a
M203 grenade
wait,
launcher.
that's right, the grenade launcher.
Bro, that's
I
how
couldn't
nasty
believe that
bro,
shit.
I'm still nasty, bro. Like you look at those videos and you be like, how the fuck? I got like 16 snipers headshots as they're moving across the map and shit. Like whatever. We're going off on a huge tangent. But yeah, I like that is definitely 2020 game of the year for me.
Not to.
That the storyline, and this might be a spoiler for those who haven't played it, but oh well,
Yeah,
that's
wait,
you.
spoiler zone. If you don't want to hear spoilers, then like skip past this, but there's gonna be spoilers after this.
The
so
fact
bear
that I
with me.
got to play two characters and see both of their stories unfold as you progress, like you already, like it was like fucking a movie, like almost, you know what I mean? Like, and the most shocking part of it all is that Abby, at first, right, I thought Abby, she was, manlier. She was, when I seen that boat scene of her getting that in there, like the sex scene, I guess you could say, right? I was shocked by it. I'm like, holy shit! I was like, this is a little weird, like, because the first
A
time
woman that muscular cannot be.
no, not that. That they actually put a sex scene in the game. The last time I seen that was God of War 2, when you're on
Yeah,
the
it was
boat and you gotta
powerful too.
smash the circle and triangle to pump the shit out of these
Like a
angel
comic
hoes.
book.
Yeah,
Like a comic book scene.
like I was like, yo, this is amazing. And I'm surprised they didn't get any blowback for it. Like, oh, the community, the kids, that's too much. Like,
Well, it's
fuck out
pretty
of
late
here.
in the game, and but yeah, it's a powerful scene too because she's such like a strong character that like that's the first time you see her just like submit to somebody.
Yeah. Super,
Yeah,
super submit.
what was interesting for me there was I had come across some spoilers of the game,
No.
and I didn't know any specifics. I just knew that it involved like a trans character, right? And so then obviously once the game starts and I see Abby, I'm like, okay, that she must be the trans character. And I'm thinking maybe at some point in the game, she'll transition into a male or, however that goes, right? And when she has, I think the guy's name was Owen. I could barely remember it
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Oh,
Right when she starts getting intimate with him, then I'm like, oh, maybe some of my assumptions are off here. And then later you find out, oh, okay, the character Lev or Liv is actually the trans character. And I was like, oh, like that makes, at least it makes more sense now.
hmm
So
Yeah.
it was like I read some spoilers that like kind of gave me expectations for the game, but thankfully it didn't ruin anything.
I also think how they did that was a little graceful too. I thought Lev was a great part of Abby's story. Like,
Yeah, I think the best part of the whole game, in fact, I think Lev is the best character.
Even
In my opinion.
no, yeah, and even with what's her face? Jesus. Her becoming gay or lesbian, should you say. And then that scene in the pot house, like in the when they go down to
that
the
was cool.
basement. That I thought that shit was dope. Like, yo, they're literally about to get high. Like, and I think that's the thing great about Last of Us. Like, it kind of like introduced you to new shit, like what's going on in the real world. Like, a lot of stuff, things are changing in the community around us and everything. Like things are becoming more open and people are starting to be like, okay, this is not wrong. People can love
Yeah,
what they want, and they
trying
kind
to
of put
even
that in the game.
I'm trying to think of a game that has had pot in it before that, and that's very hard to think of one.
Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, yeah, multiple games.
Like,
No, not multiple. I know that the first Saints Row, you could smoke a blunt in that game, but like that was like, but I don't remember you being able to smoke a blunt in which Grand Theft
I'm
Auto.
pretty sure in GTA 4 you hang out with the Jamaican dude and you guys could get high together.
Oh,
And
that's
you
right.
get
Yeah,
disoriented and everything.
that's right.
And in Vice City, you straight up sell weed right out of the ice
Yeah.
cream truck.
straight out of that. All the kids getting it. Everybody.
Like,
That-
yeah, I mean, it wasn't as blatant as The Last of Us in the sense that it's like, you know, they're showing a more like realistic, I guess, where there's some pot plants, they're smoking some joints, they're getting high like normal people do, instead of someone selling, you know, weed out of an ice cream truck or whatever.
I'm not gonna lie. A little, I guess you could say like little kid me. I would have loved to control that whole boat scene with the extra square button. Like maybe make it more interactive, like how God of War
Sex
was.
scene?
Yeah, like in that sex scene, you just tap it and you could just fucking like rock it even like, you know what? It's just like the little kid in me would have been like, yo, fuck this.
Personally,
God of
that
War
would
did it.
bring it into a probably more into a pornographic video game. Like they would try to like pull one of those.
It's like the Super Nintendo games that are just porn games. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I don't remember any porn
Yeah.
games for the Super Nintendo. I wish.
Dude, there's like a billion. Like,
Pucho had them
it's
all.
had 'em all.
Pervy,
Nah,
pervy
I used to play
pooch.
Nah, I used to play a lot of like Super Nintendo emulators when I was like really young or whatever. And like you know, back then you could only download like it'd be like these gigantic packs of games. It'd be like 700 ROMs or something. And in there there'll be like 200 freaking porn ones. It'd be like slideshows of like naked women or just a lot of weird interactive things.
That's funny.
Yeah, so just a lot of bizarre things. It has something to do with like in the Nintendo era, Nintendo, like in order for you to release like an NES game, it was something like if you had a company, you could only do like 4 releases a year. Like Nintendo wouldn't let you release more games on the console than that. It was like a quality control thing because like I think I don't know. It was like in response to some of the older consoles getting like sunken because they were just everybody was making like a billion games. And then for the Super Nintendo, they went the opposite. They just kind of let people produce as many games as they wanted. So then you got a lot of these like weird porn games, stuff like
That's
that.
nuts.
SimCity.
And that
You had sex in SimCity. I used to play the shit out of SimCity.
Sims, yeah.
The Sims. Oh, the Sims.
I said SimCity.
SimCity.
Right, yeah.
SimCity is a strategic. It's like a strategy.
No, yeah,
game.
The Sims. My bad.
I thought you were just talking about SimCity. I used to love that shit on Super Nintendo.
That shit.
Never played it on there.
No.
Fortunately, my first SimCity was like SimCity 4, which is like amazing. Like had everything in it.
It's weird too.
Yeah.
Like I think that was my first simulator game. Right.
Strategy game. You never
Yeah,
played
like-
any like Command and Conquer or nothing like that?
I don't think I've ever played Command and Conquer. No.
StarCraft?
I played StarCraft.
So then that's probably
Actually, no,
Warcraft.
wait. No, I did not play StarCraft. I got that confused with another great game that I used to play, which was Star Fox. Remember Star Fox? I don't know why I got that confused. That's a big, that is a completely different game.
Spaceship, same realm, spaceships.
Nah,
and
it's different. That shit was, by the way, my favorite. That was growing up. That was a favorite game of mine.
you're talking about 64 or Super
Oh,
NES?
64.
Yeah, 64.
I didn't play the NES one, bro. Now that I think about it, if I had to choose characters, obviously I would be Fox. Pucho would be the frog. I forgot that nigga's name. And Doughboy, you already know who you
Who am
are.
I don't know.
Pippi.
Yo,
You know-
like,
What's funny is I would think that Tony would pick Falco. because like he's sort of like the
Yeah, the
more
cool
badass
guy.
Fox
Yeah,
character.
No,
Like
I like Falco, but he was too aggressive at the time.
he was
everybody
very
loves.
aggressive.
Man was super aggressive.
Yeah, having to rescue him on the first mission every time, I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna die.
Yeah, this bum always getting himself. You know what's funny? Because I could be him now. That probably is me because I'm always running into battle, and y'all like, yo, you're going into the fucking battle head first. Like, what are you doing? Like, you guys had to save me here and there too.
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
In
No.
Overwatch.
No. Don't play me, my nigga. I get kills, bro. You don't never gotta come save me. Just give me a little bit of heals and I'll keep it moving. That's not saving. That's not saving. That's not saving. There's a difference for giving your boy a little bit of water to keep on running. That's all I need, right? Just a little tap here and there. That's it, bro. Like y'all
I think
tripping.
you're good for your skill level.
Good is average. I'm great.
You're great for your skill level.
Thank you.
But I think if you want to go up to the upper echelons, I think you have to think about your team more often.
Or my team needs to think about me and give me what I need to proceed.
Yeah.
Like Pooch is a healer. You're the shield guy.
The shield and the moving up and the gaining territory without dying is like a very important meta in that game.
But as of lately, I got to give it to y'all. I've been like, if I'm not playing Junkrat or fuck, I forgot the other person's name. If I'm not playing them, I'm not getting as much kills. There was a couple games where Pucho got like 20 fucking kills with Zenyatta.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how the fuck?
Yeah, because he's like a really good Zenny has a really good like attack ratio. Like, but his health giving is nothing that a tank could survive off of.
Nah.
You know, and what you like the meta for that game is like you have to have somebody healing your tanks at all times.
It's like you need
A lot of people.
Go ahead.
A lot of people don't like Lucio because you don't see yourself being healed. There's not like an indicator. And also Lucio needs to be by you and you have to be by Lucio. So it's like a constant reminder, like, oh, if I'm not by this Lucio, I'm not constantly being healed. But yeah, that's like I've had good healers of all. Like I've had a good Moira and I was surprised. I'm like, oh, this Moira's doing his thing. And I've seen good healers and all, but I think that's like you have to pay attention to the tanks mainly.
No,
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, Zenyatta's heals are pretty bad. For me, my rule of thumb is like, I basically, if I'm having a couple good Zenyatta games, I'll keep playing Zenyatta until I feel like I need to switch. But mainly, I'll either play Mercy or Lucio if I'm playing heals. And I'll only switch back to Zenyatta if I feel like our team's not getting enough kills. I'm like, all right, I need to jump in and start being some DPS, and that's typically, my goals in playing heals is basically heal my team, and if my team ain't getting enough kills while I'm healing them, then I need to start getting.
Yeah. I actually think that's like a high level strat because a lot of people try to like force their way in, sledgehammer their way in with one character, and it's like, yo, if one character's not working, you need to try something else.
No, yeah, you definitely got to swap the shit out of the character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even on different maps, there's like certain maps where I prefer Mercy versus Lucio. There's some maps where I just know like there's so much action, I'll just start off as Zenyatta.
And that's the same way about Bastion. Bastion on certain maps and certain game modes, you cannot play them. Yeah. Like, you just can't at all.
Same thing with a Torbjorn. Same thing. But I've to see a lot of people just use Torbjorn anywhere.
I feel like you can use Junkrat for any map, any game mode.
Zeus is devastating with Tob. Like he'll fix him. He'll play even on attack where you can't use these characters like Bastion and Torbjorn, and he's still putting in work. Torbjorn's gun does a deceiving amount of damage. Yep. Like you think Mercy, like he's just some like little. Mercy too, dude. Yeah. If I see a Reinhardt and it's just me and the Reinhardt, and he's got his back turned to me, I just whip out the pistol and I lay him out. Like she does so much damage so quick.
Yeah, that shit is a little OP. Also, fucking Lucio's healing points that he get is ridiculous. If Lucio and Mercy are out there, he's winning 10 out of 10 times with healing points. That shit to me
Yeah.
is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
wild.
It depends. If the Mercy's on like a tank character who's out in the open, like a lot, she could beat him in heals just because she heals faster than him. But if the Lucio's sticking next to like 3-4 team members the whole game and there's a lot of fighting, the Lucio's always gonna be the number.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
So
still confused at what Overwatch 2 could even be. Like, I'm like, after playing Overwatch 1 again and seeing how many maps they've added, that was one of my first criticisms. I'm like, we're playing the same maps over and over. Now I don't even have that complaint because it feels like it's a nice rotation of maps.
Yep.
there's nothing worse than 2K when it comes to copy and paste in a game, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing worse. This year for the PS5, sure, the city is huge now. The park is not the same. You can say right now the park is not the same. Shit is huge. I did it the other night with Jesus, bro. It's like miles of walking just to get to stores or shit.
It's
And
weird.
like honestly, like I don't know what it is, bro. 2K, NBA 2K is just trash, my nigga. Like they do not, and this is my rant. I rant about this so much now. It's ridiculous. Like they need to stop charging me $60 or $70 for a game that they just copy and pasting the same fucking characters or the same shit. Thank God PS5 they changed it, right? But next year, you better not even. Don't give me the same bitches in the same store with the goofy face. Don't give me the same bullshit coach. When you go in team practice, they give you the same bullshit bald-headed coach that just sits there every time.
What's wrong with bald people?
There's nothing wrong with bald people. But it's the same dude. Like, change it up. Like, that's not the coach for the team that I'm playing. Put the coach. Maybe it's money. Maybe there's some money aspect to it, right? Like, you gotta pay the coach now. But like, fuck it. If he's on the sideline of the game when you're playing a career, put him as the coach. That's, you know what I mean? It's just stupid. There's certain shit
I
stupid.
think it has to do with money, but in a different way. Like, I think 2K as a whole, 2K games, take one, what is it called? Take two. I think as a whole, man, those people are just very greedy. You can see it from 2K to GTA Online. It's like the two huge. I mean, not only that, you got EA with the FIFA, and I think they have a model for these type of games where for their stockholders it gets a lot of money bought out in stocks. And I think as long as they're appeasing to those stockholders, it really doesn't matter what we'll just get whatever they throw at us. Like
Yeah.
I think you got to vote with your wallet and like really think about it. Like, yo, I'm not gonna be putting into this series if and start poisoning the well. Start telling your friends, like, yo, let's not get it. And like tell their friends to not get it either. So you can just kind of make a statement that way. I know it kind of sucks because you're out of the loop for a year, but the amount of money I've seen my friends waste on that game, it's a little bit unhealthy. I'm not gonna lie. I've had some pretty bad mobile
The VC.
addictions for my phone, and I was like, whoa, this shit works. Like these little algorithms they create, and like this shit really gets you hooked. And I've spent a little too much money on some mobile games out there. Plants vs Zombie 2, Plants vs.
Fortnite.
The card game. Yeah, you could even say that because that's a mobile game. But yeah, I've spent an unhealthy amount of money on like video games and like microtransactions.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly why I haven't played like 2K. As much as I enjoy those types of games, and I have a lot of fun playing multiplayer games, um, it's just the barrier for entry is like $60 just to get the game, and then you gotta drop like sometimes another 40,
50.
$50, $60, yeah, to like build up a character, and that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I just can't do it. As much as like I watch like Easy, Zeus, Tony, they're all playing these games. Like I want to play with them, and I spend way more than that on just buying other games. It's just something about the fact that I need to pay over $100 to enjoy that game.
Every year.
Yeah, every year too.
That's why a
I
lot of people just go and buy the deluxe edition. They
yeah.
it that's what they do, but they still end up spending another $20 on top of it. Like it's fucking stupid. It's smart business wise because if I was the business guy at the end of it, I would like fuck yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it. But
The bottom
damn,
line, that's all that
that
matters.
so the Game Awards for 2020. Obviously, a lot of us already know what the game of the year, what game of the year won, or whatever. I just want to see out of the selection that they have, if you guys see it could have went different, right?
Yeah.
So for the
Like
game,
what would we have chosen?
yeah, like or would you have said like, nah, this shouldn't have got it. I think it should have been this, just to see what what our opinions or how it's different from what was selected. For the game
Yeah.
of the year, I think there's a no brainer. The winner was Last of Us 2. And the other ones that were on there was Animal Crossing. I don't think I've ever played it.
Yeah, it's on the Switch.
Hades. I've never played it. Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Doom.
That's surprising. I wouldn't even. Doughboy was saying for a little while.
As I was
too.
playing Doom, I was like, yeah, this is incredible. But like then you get to the end of the game and you kind of start to see the game tearing at the seams. Like it's fun. The whole game as like a whole is good. It's a great game. But like it has a lot of artificial difficulty. It's like how many demons can we throw in your face at once before you die? And then the Doom dance is fun until it isn't. Until when you want to melee an enemy and it does 0 fucking damage and you're like, what the fuck? So like it's fun until it isn't. And it's like, okay, I want to play the game a little differently. And it's like, no, you have to Doom dance. And that's where it kind of like fell off for me. Um
Can
but
you
like
explain what Doom dancing is?
Yeah,
Like,
I was
the
just about to
Doom
ask that.
dance the Doom Dance is level design mixed with gameplay, and it's like the game wants you to do what is they like what only I can consider as laps. They build a little area for you, and this area is built in such a way where you can kind of just like run around it and keep running around. If you want to go backwards, you can go backwards. If you want to go across and across, you can do that. But you have to keep moving and you have to keep collecting health and going here because if you just stand and shoot, you're just going to die. The enemies are going to come in from all directions and it's a wrap. So that's like the design of the game. It's like shoot, run, collect ammo, health, power ups, shoot, run, shoot, run, and that's like the design of the game. So then like they take away like your melee, which is kind of stupid. Like I understand they if you can melee every enemy, it keeps you in one area where you're just kind of just hitting people up. But like I don't know. I felt one, and the first person to make me realize that was Bucho when he played, and all he just was, and he's like, "Hold on, why aren't they dying?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot." In 2016 Doom, you could actually melee enemies until they died,
Yeah,
and it was a strategy you could use.
Nah, they changed it up on y'all.
Yeah, but the
I
set
love
pieces,
I love Doom 26. I thought it was awesome. Like
yes,
for shooter wise, I'm more in the camp of like the Wolfenstein camp. I kind of enjoy those games a lot where they're kind of like Doom but less fantastical. And it's just like you shoot someone in the head a single time, 9 out of 10 times they'll die. Like, cause it's just like a little bit more realistic. Later on, they start introducing all these like armored enemies and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so it gets a lot harder. But I just really enjoyed that game. I mean, killing Nazis like it's I don't know, it's hard to hate on that.
Wolfenstein was very well done. Yeah.
I'm also confused on how Animal Crossing was on the list of game of the year.
It's just a Nintendo game, and Nintendo doesn't have a lot to like celebrate every year, so they always have that one game that's like every year, and that was that game for this 2020 was Animal Crossing. Everybody was waiting for it.
So yeah, for me out of this list, I didn't play Doom Eternal too much, and I didn't play Animal Crossing at all. But the other four games, I played them. I love them. Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and Last of Us were all great games. Um, Ghost of Tsushima, I like as of right now, I think I enjoyed it more than The Last of Us Part Two. But
Is it
I think
because of the
overall,
add-on?
no, and that just makes it even better. But I just played through the whole game. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed like the gameplay. I put it on the hardest difficulty. It made it more fun for me. Basically, everybody's dying in just like two to three hits. It just
Yeah,
felt
it turns
really
into
good.
like Bushido Blade almost. It felt like
Yep,
really
every
cool.
fight. And it sucks too at first because you're not good enough to really deal with it. So it's like you run into a fight and it's like maybe you could take out one enemy, then two. By the third one, they take you out. And it's just like, man, this Bushido, blade type of gameplay is just too difficult when you gotta go through a gauntlet of enemies. But
Yeah.
I had
later
this.
on you get more health and more damage and it just becomes easier.
It was the
Uh,
spear guys for me that made me change the difficulty back down. I'm like, "Ah, I'm not ready for this. I'm like, these
yeah.
spear guys are just poking me. I'm like, ah,
Now you had to
nah,
change
man."
your stance to stop that. That's a quick. So yeah, so now for the best game direction, the choices were Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half Life, and of course Last of Us, and of course Last of Us won that. Um,
I just want to say that Half Life has left such a horrible taste in my mouth because I love the Half Life series. I love Half Life One, the Half Life One add-ons. I love all three Half Life Two games. Ridiculous of a sentence as that sounds like. I love all the spin-offs, the Team Fortress, the Portals. They're all phenomenal. And I just don't own any VR, and I just can't bring myself to buy VR to play Half Life Alex. As much as I want to play more Half Life. So take my opinion with a grain of salt that I haven't played that game.
Yeah, well, basically, VR is like $1,000 entry. Like you can do the Oculus and all that other stuff, but if you really want to play like these games, you have to get like the $1,000 setup, and that's a big entry on top of having a good computer. I wish I could know what Half like Alex is about, but I don't want to ruin the game for myself because I hear it's so good and like watch a walkthrough. But
Yeah.
I heard it's been good, but I can't even count it in like game direction because I have no idea what the game is about. All I've heard is that as far as VR, it takes it to like that next step because a lot of VR games have been very small, like tech demo-y, and
Yeah.
this is like a long VR game that has
It's
like
really why I haven't bought VR yet. It's
Mhm.
just like,
It's still like in its infancy.
right, all the games that are out for it just feel very small. And
yeah,
there's nothing very substantial beyond Resident Evil 7, which I think was a really cool a good thing they did. So that's like a good step. I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil as well. 7, it just didn't grab me, so it just wasn't enough for me to get VR. And then like Half-Life Alex is another one. And then beyond those two games, everything else seems very like tiny,
yeah.
very like snippets of games.
By
Yeah.
the way,
So just to say, I didn't say it. I stand by Final Fantasy VII Remake as my game of the year. And for game direction, I would go with Last of Us 2. I don't
yeah,
think you could pick anything.
you can't.
Like Ghost of Tsushima has some really cool parts, but as directing goes, Last of Us just feels like a real Hollywood kind of featured movie.
Yep,
The rest of these are good. Even Final Fantasy VII, as much as I love it, the direction is not on par with Last.
nowhere near. I'm actually surprised that I never played Hades, so I can't really talk on that. But what?
Sorry, I was just saying, like game direction, it's great. It shouldn't be on this list. And I love Hades. Game of the year, I think is fine being in that category. For game direction,
I feel like there's other
narrative,
games.
there's other categories in here that it fits. I don't know. For me, game direction is just too small of a game. I think to. It's like you haven't seen it, but it's basically like a 2D game, and it's beautifully drawn. It's like this super cool. You should look it up. The art style, all the Super Giant games, they do this beautiful painted art style. They all look amazing. But I don't know. From a game direction perspective, it's hard to compare that to something on the scale of Last of Us, where they're hiring actors, crazy mocap, there's just insane anime, just
Yeah.
all this crazy stuff is really difficult for me to compare those two things.
No, yeah. I that's why I was looking at too. Like, why is this in the game of the year, like, or game direction? Like, I've never played it, but
Which
I can.
game?
Hades for game of
You'll
direction.
understand it like when you play it. It's
For game
like
direction,
For game direction, not game of the year. Game direction.
I mean, I think it does a good job, man, as an indie game. I think what they set out to do, they hit the nail on the head very well.
100%. I was just telling Tony it's hard for me to compare the game direction in Hades, which is like this very small 2D
Yeah, it's
game,
a
to
very
something that's
small. Mhm.
grand as The Last of Us. It's like, for
Yeah,
me, it's hard to compare those.
a much harder game, and I think they did what they had. I think they did a good job with Last of Us too. I think with the story that they had, they did good too.
So all right, we can all agree that Last of Us definitely clear
What
cut.
were you
Yeah.
gonna say?
Oh, when Doughboy left, right? I was gonna tell you, like,
Well, wait till he leaves again. No, he's not.
no, I was good. I'm kind of jealous, but I low key kind of like it, right? Like, you see all of our backgrounds is normal and shit. This man has nothing in the background besides Cat, and Cat is just so chill. Like, I keep looking at Cat, and it's just like, yo, she's just vibing. Like, I'm kind of jealous that my cats ain't that chilled. So they could just sit there and niggas be like, oh, look, he's got like a live thing in the back. It looked cool. When you was gone, the cat kind of filled in for you. Like, it was good.
You gotta stand in.
Yeah. Now she's just cleaning herself back there. Best narrative winner, of course, Last of Us.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've never played the game 13 Sentinels. Final
I don't even know
Fantasy,
what that is.
Ghost of Tsushima, and Hades are on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Somebody's.
It's a lot of the same, unfortunately. They didn't give it any variety. These are the same 5 games every time.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. I would say the narrative in Hades is actually really cool. Like, they basically, the whole story is like you're I don't even remember the main Zagreus. You're basically the son of Hades,
Hmm.
and you're fighting your way out of the underworld for some reason. If you play the game, not a huge spoiler, but and Hades does not want you to leave the underworld. So you basically got to fight through all the crazy stuff that, if you're familiar at all with like Greek mythology, they have all the characters from like Greek mythology, like, and they're all like interwoven with the plot. And they just the art, like, sorry, not art, but like narratively, it's just really cool how Zagreus has history with all these different characters of the underworld, and he has almost no history with like the gods of Olympus. And so then that's sort of like another piece of the story is like he meets these gods and he's having conversation, and they're like, oh, we didn't know Hades had a son and all this stuff. And it's there's a lot of little cool stuff. For me, what the narrative in that game is missing is like there's like no twist, no big twist to me. Like I wanted just something a little bit more substantial. Like once you got to the end, it's like, oh, there, like it wasn't much there, and it ends a little happy. That there was no extras. I wanted like the gods of Olympus to be more involved as like the true evil force of the world, or something more, substantial. And it just sort of, I don't know, it got wrapped up a little too tight.
Yeah, I agree. But I hopefully they it doesn't seem like that's the end. It definitely seems like they're gonna be some DLCs for it and
Right.
stuff like that.
That's absolutely how it's
And
going.
with how good they did with the original story, I have like faith in them. Because it really expanded on Greek mythology. If you're into that at all, like, which I wasn't really at all. And it just gave me a very the like, once again, atmosphere. It was all there, like the world building. I didn't know so many gods and so many of these people in the Greek mythologies were like bisexual, and it just was not an issue back in the day. All these
Yeah, that
people
thing
were like
wasn't at all.
in love with men, in love with women, like both. And I was
Open
like, wow.
relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, that opened my eyes, and I wasn't aware of those things. And I thought some of those plot lines were some of the better plot lines in the game. So I appreciated that game a lot. The music is just amazing.
Yeah. The yeah, the who's the guy? I think his name is Darren Korb. He does all the music for all the Supergiant games, and it's phenomenal. Like, there got to be hands down. I can't think right now, but right now I would say they're my favorite indie studio. Like between Bastion,
Transistor.
Transistor, and Hades. I wasn't crazy about the Pyre, but even that game, art wise, narrative wise, they do a lot of crazy stuff. Like there's a lot of work there. I don't know. They just always do a great job. I'm looking forward to whatever these guys make.
No, yeah, for sure. So moving
So
on
Tony, you
to
never mentioned what are your picks in these lists?
oh, I agreed with Last of Us.
So your Last of Us game of the year, Last of Us game direction, Last of Us narrative.
Yep.
Because I think I would pick narrative Last of Us as well.
The only one like game direction I could have nah, definitely Last of Us. Ghost of Tsushima was good, but in that category, Last of Us. And that's me, like I said in the beginning, sound like a fanboy, but I mean call a spade a spade. Like that for that category, that game was better than the ones that were selected.
Yeah, the game was phenomenal.
But for the next one here for best art direction, I can agree with. So the winner. All right. So let me just tell you the people they put in: Final Fantasy VII remake, Hades, Ori and the Will of Wisp. I think if I'm saying
It's
that
the
right.
sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest.
And Last of
Oh,
Us 2.
let's have a discussion before you say who won, because I don't
Okay.
even know who won.
All right. So those were. There's one more, and those are the four.
What's the one more? What's the other one?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
I thought that I didn't say that. My bad.
No.
Um, So those five there for best art direction. I never played Ori and the Will of the Wisp, but just that picture that they have here, that shit looks pretty cool.
Yep,
It's a
they're
cool
Xbox
exclusive.
exclusive. They're on PC. I think I played the first Ori on PC, but yeah, they're a console exclusive to Xbox. They're phenomenal. They're one of the few games that would make me wish I had an Xbox when they came out.
Huh.
Yeah. And the old Supergiant games, because when they first came out, they only came out on the 360. So
I
like
wasn't
Bastion.
aware of
Okay.
Yep, I was tight. I was so tight.
that.
I mean, at the time, I was in college. So I wasn't even playing that many games, but I picked them up on Steam on like summer or winter sales and stuff. But yeah, Xbox has always been pretty cool about having like the indies on, and PlayStation has done better. Really, only this PS4 gen.
No, yeah. So for the art direction of it, I think I've seen Final Fantasy. That looked great. Obviously, I played Last of Us. That looked great. I played Ghost of Tsushima. That was pretty fantastic visually. Like Hades, I never played, so I can't
Yeah.
really talk much about it. But
For me, my pick here, I think Ghost of Tsushima takes a hand. Like, and I'm actually quite curious how realistic the game is from an art direction perspective. Like, the world is just so beautifully colorful. I remember just when I first like booted the game up, and you're just going through the world. These red trees, pink trees, yellow trees, huge areas of like red flowers and
like a
grass.
wave of
Yeah, it
grass.
just looks amazing. And then I also think I love the fact that there wasn't any it kind of ties into the art direction, but how there's like no waypoint system where like in all these other games you crack, it's an open world game, right? You crack open this map, you go, you pick your point, and then you have your map as like a mini map, and it just draws a line for like where you need to go. And it's kind of like it's less immersive than I guess it can be.
Yep.
And I guess I never really realized how not immersive that is until I played Ghost of Tsushima, where you do something similar. You open up the map, you pick where you want to go on the map, but there is no mini map, and there's like I guess it's only on PlayStation.
On the touchpad.
You flick up on the touchpad, and then there's like a wind that blows. You could see the wind, and it basically telling you what direction you need to go in.
And as
That
it
part-
blows, it moves the trees and the grass as
Yeah.
well. Which,
and
like little details like that, bro, it's just like that's fucking amazing.
They
And
got a really nice update on the PS5 as well, and it makes the game look so much better.
damn, I didn't
That's
even
crazy.
play it on the PS5 yet. I might have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, as you can guess, Ghost of Tsushima won that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it-
that's a
it seems like
no-brainer.
Totally acceptable pick. It is my art direction of the year. I thought it was perfect. I'm
So,
also a sucker for Japan, so I think there's some bias there too. So
of course, there's bias coming from Pucho when it comes to certain games. It touches a
I
little
get
memory
it. Yo,
bank.
Japan has some really cool aspects to it.
What's it, Jabam?
It's my bad. It's a land with history in it.
I'm gonna start
I
calling
don't
this
know.
shit Jaban.
Japan.
Even in the Persona 5, man, it's like all about Japanese culture and stuff like that. And it's interesting.
I mean Japanese.
How
It's
I'm
over
still
with.
getting used to how people call each other senpai and kun and san, and like I still think that yeah, it's kun, and that means like your friend.
Yeah.
You're friends with that person.
Don't
It's
say
like
that
really
shit over
weird.
here in America.
No, you're taking it in the wrong way.
I'm
It's
just
like-
letting the sound of it alone. That's look at me. I look how I called it Kun. What the heck? And he was like, no, KUN from Japan.
Nah, it's Japan has like what they call honorifics, where it's just like there's different suffixes to
Ah, okay.
somebody's name, and it denotes sort of like the power dynamic in the situation. It's actually kind of interesting. They're all acknowledging power dynamics all the time. So like your master or your sensei, maybe not the right word, but like a teacher, someone who's like above you in level, and it's someone that's like teaching you, you call that person senpai. And Kun would be a friend, so it'd be like Tony Kun or Doughboy
okay.
Kun, or it's like and they have different names, different ones that mean like different levels of closeness. Like I don't even know. I think Kun even implies a closeness that I think San like Tony San is like it's just like a sir or mister or something.
Like
where you're kinda
Goku-san, like how they had it in DBZ.
like,
Goku-san
so
in
it's,
LA.
I think it's
Why are you laughing?
Because I'm thinking like, how does this apply in America? And I'm like, yo, you remember when we were in high school in Palm Beach and they used to call each other my Ace Boon Coon? I was like, yo, why did people call each other
I've
that?
never heard.
I've
that.
never.
Yeah.
What's what?
It's like like, oh, that's my boy. Like that's my homie.
My Ace Boon Coon? I've never
Yeah.
heard of that shit. I'd be
Is it
like
Lake Worth thing?
Yeah.
Lake Worth Middle or Lake Worth High?
Palm Beach thing.
Oh, Palm Beach thing.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. That's weird. Eso sí está raro, nigga. I don't. For the next category, I don't know how. Well, whatever. Best score in music.
Go ahead.
Last of
What's
Us
the
2, Ori and the
No.
Will of Wisp, Hades, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Doom Eternal.
I mean, Doom has some rockin' tunes. And it makes you feel like it has like a guitar, and there's some of the music in there is good. But
Is
I
it
don't
like a
think it's
gym flow music? Like it gets you pumped?
Yes, in a way, yeah. It kind of has like that. You'll hear the guitar kick in, and you'll know it's like you're about to kick some ass. As Doom guy, Hades has good music. I never really remember any music from Last of Us 2 though.
Yeah, I don't even
Well,
know
I
why.
can't.
Oh no,
They have the main theme
the
with the
guitar.
guitar. I like that. And then they played a couple guitar songs throughout the game. I wouldn't call it the score necessarily, but yeah, like they played.
It's
I
good
can't
song.
remember, but there's a part where
Take On Me.
spoilers, Take on Me. That was a
Yeah.
phenomenal
Mhm.
rendition of the song. I thought it was awesome.
But I think to put it on
Ellie
this
Goes
list
to
though,
the girlfriend.
no, to put it on
Yeah,
this list, I don't
Persona
know.
5 would be mine, man. I'm shafting. I'm listening to all those themes. Like I'm actually they released the OST on iTunes and Spotify, and I've actually been listening to some of the songs on there because they're decent.
Yeah. For me, it's my game of the year. Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
almost
could
a
only
cheat.
imagine.
It's almost a cheat code
Yeah,
because the yeah, all those Square games, like the
Yeah.
mainline Square games, the soundtracks are just phenomenal. They get orchestras and they do all this like crazy stuff with their music, and it's almost not even fair. And so Final Fantasy VII, the original, has one of the great
amazing.
soundtracks in any video game, and then the remake basically takes all those songs
And make it better.
and in some respects, yeah, they basically are just putting new twists on a lot of songs or just keeping them as is, just kind of remastering them, making them a little more modern.
They had
And
orchestra versions. Like they actually toured around the world and played Final Fantasy music as an orchestra, if I'm not correct.
That's
Like
for
dope.
sure,
big venues. Yeah, so they already had like a idea of what this music would sound like,
yeah,
updated.
yeah. For
Would you?
me, the really fun part for it is that I already know all of these songs because I've been playing Final Fantasy VII since I was a kid, and it was really cool to see like the twist on the music, like um, the different ways that they like arranged the song was like, oh crap, I didn't even know that like this song that I was super familiar with is could be so different and yet so familiar at the same time. And that was for me very fun was to hear all my old favorite songs, but just different. I don't really know how to describe it.
So Final Fantasy 7 did win that.
Yeah, I might have to agree with that one. Yeah, because that music is amazing.
And,
Sephiroth's theme,
and it's
Ares
also
theme.
yeah, like that to me. I think I played the demo, I guess, and it had a lot of music and sounds and stuff like that. But other than that, like I said, Last of Us, good, but I don't think it should have been on that list.
Yeah.
For best audio design, they have Doom Eternal, Half Life, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3, and Last of Us Part 2.
This is almost becoming redundant.
Yeah,
This is almost becoming too much of the same.
Last of Us 2 won that, by the way.
Audio design, yeah, I'd have to say, yeah, it says really great audio design.
Yeah, I didn't. I wish I had like the 3D headphones, but I remember in the lead up to Last of Us 2, they were saying that they did like a 3D audio thing. So like if you had the right, audio setup, you could perfectly hear like, a sound and you could hear, oh, that's actually coming from above me.
Oh
As
yeah,
opposed to just like when you got like the 3D audio, or well, not 3D, but kind of like you got your left
regular
right thing,
surround sound.
and it's like you could kind of feel like a surround kind of thing. Yeah. They even have like a verticality to their sound. Pretty
No,
cool.
yeah,
I never got to experience it. I just saw kind of like the way that they described it. I don't know, certain like game development conferences. I thought it was
PlayStation Gold headsets, as shitty as they are at times, that gives you that. Like I experienced every single any like that's why I got the PS5 headsets, the Sony ones. Like any sound, you can literally pinpoint it anywhere. Like oh, it's upstairs in the right corner. Like I go up, bam, kill somebody instantly. Like it's crazy how the audio really helps in video
Yeah,
games.
I have to write off Sony. I've gotten too many bad PlayStation Golds, PlayStation Platinums. I wrote them off. Like as much as I love their headphones, because I buy their headphones, just the small little earbud ones to connect to controller, but I bought so much money in headphones from them and for the PS4, and it was just such a disappointment. So even now with the PS5, I went with Razer. I
Oh,
said
that's
I'm
what
not
you have
even.
on right now, the Razer.
Yeah, the razors, man, they're amazing. Because
yeah.
there's another one called the Steel Series Arctic
Yeah.
7P. That's the next like best one.
I don't know, man. They say it's a tie between the PS5 ones, that, and I don't even know about the Razer, but I guess the Razer as well.
These are the three best ones, yeah, for right now. There's some that like less like budget wise, they're better. But
So moving on to the best performance category. Last of Us 2, Ashley Johnson as Ellie. Last of Us 2 again, Laura Bailey as Abby. I'm gonna destroy this name. I'm so sorry, but for Ghost of Tsushima, Daisuke Tsuji as Jin Sakai. Sakai.
I think it's Daisuke Suji.
Yeah, thank you. I already said I was gonna destroy that name.
I said I think. I might be saying it wrong. I think the T is silent, and I know like from Naruto, his name is Sasuke, and that Suke is just like a ske.
Yeah. Game Hades, Logan Cunningham
My man.
as Hades. And for Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Najia Jeter. Najee.
I don't like his voice work in that game. Fortunately,
You don't
I'm
like
like,
Miles Morales' voice?
I don't know. I watched the movie. The movie was fine. I didn't find no issue with it, and but I'm gonna be completely honest. It took me like a few hours to like for it not to be annoying.
Wait, he was
to
in the
me.
his voice was the same one in the movie as well?
I don't know. I'm
I
not too sure.
don't think so.
Yeah,
Could be
but
wrong.
I don't really like the voice actor in Miles Morales. Other than that, though, it's all right. It's an amazing game.
So best performance goes to Laura Bailey as Abby.
Yeah, she did a great job,
I like her a lot.
but I like Ashley Johnson personally. I feel like
Who's Ashley
spoilers.
Johnson?
Ellie
Ellie from The Last of Us.
from Last of Us.
Ashley Johnson's the girl from Borderlands 3? Isn't that girl? The Borderlands
No,
girl?
you're thinking of oh gosh, I forgot her name. But she had the YouTube show, Hey Ash, What You Doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's not her then.
No. Wow, I feel crazy right now.
Because you don't remember it?
Yeah. She was
She's
Tiny
a-
Tina. And
yeah,
I
very
liked her.
popular voice
and
actor.
I think she Ashley Birch. That's her name.
There you go.
Yeah, no. Ashley Johnson, she played Ellie in the first two Last of Us games. I don't know. Spoilers for The Last of Us 2. Spoilers coming right now. Okay. Everybody must know by now. Joe gets his head smashed in. That whole scene where Ellie's on the floor just watching it happen.
Yeah.
Like the guttural kind of like almost animal like screams and just everything she goes through in that game. I feel like she completely sold the whole revenge thing for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that was a very powerful scene.
And like while Abby also same boat, wanted revenge and all that.
Yep.
I don't know. I felt like I played as Joel in the first game. I just cared so much more about Joel and Ellie's story. As cool as it was going through the whole game again as Abby and seeing Lev's story and everything she went through, it took me a long time to really care about Abby's story. And I think a lot of people like that I've read like on Twitter and Reddit and stuff like that, I think they feel opposite. They feel like Ellie was so unlikable in the game that they instantly liked Abby. Maybe that's what they were going for, but I don't know.
I liked Ellie a lot in the game, but I definitely Abby was definitely needed. I really enjoyed. It was a refreshing take. It was a nice perspective change. I think it was I think at the end of Ellie's journey, I was getting a little bit like it just was like I don't know, it was too much for me.
Yeah.
But like the
I feel
game
like
was
that game was just too long.
Yeah.
By the time I got to the end of Ellie's story, I kind of wanted it to be the end of the game. And then when they made me play another whole half, it was cool because you see different environments, different locations, different characters, different story, a total different dynamic. You're not playing as the bad guys.
It also changed your
still
look.
like-
It changed your look on the
that was
whole
actually pretty
story.
cool.
Yeah, that's what captured me. I was like, I see the other side of how Ellie and Joel actually fuck some shit up. Because we only saw like they're right. You know, like there's always two sides to the story, and that they capture that perfectly in that game. Like, cause it almost made me felt bad for Abby and them. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
it humanizes the enemy of like a lot.
yeah, that
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal.
Even when you're playing as Ellie, they really try to humanize the enemy. Cause you'll shoot one of the guys like in the head or the back and they go down. And then the other enemies of the area, they'll be like Christopher, like that character has a name or something. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit.
It just gave
thought
that
that was so
person
good.
soul. Like, yeah.
It's a good
I
touch.
thought that was like a really cool touch.
So for games for impact,
Wait 1 second. I heard that Last of Us Fractions will be a multiplayer standalone game. And it's going to be coming out for the PS5 and PS4
when
or something like that. They're still working on it, apparently. Neil Drucker made some comment in like September that was like, oh, that other thing, it's still coming and it's amazing. So everybody thinks that it's Last of Us multiplayer, which I hope, because that was like one of my biggest disappointments of that game. A lot of people were like, that these people fighting all this conflict in the single player kind of made them sick, like how people were just killing each other senselessly, and that Fractions would just be more of that, like senseless killing. But it's a multiplayer game, it's a video game, so I'm like, I wish, but apparently it's gonna be a standalone game. I hope this is true, and I hope it does come out, because that was like the biggest sore. Like, I was being such a whiny baby about that. I wanted the multiplayer so bad.
yeah, I did too. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Would probably still be playing it today.
Yep.
And I hope it's crossplay. I hope PS4 and PS5 people can play together.
Yeah, either that or just make it PS5 only, and then make it the most amazing
Wow,
thing.
just shit on people who don't got PS5s.
Fuck it, man. You know, look, the new Battlefield, it's gonna be PS5 exclusive. That's gonna set the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, bro. Battlefield better not disappoint me. They better not come with this old ass country west bullshit guns. I need that modern gun. I want my M4A1, 3x scope, suppressor. I want that Battlefield. I don't want this fucking bow action. Bam. I'm good off of all that shit. I don't want none of that shit. No horseback riding bullshit. I don't want none of that. I'm good.
I heard they're finally getting rid of the engine that fucking the gate. Wow, let me not say that. It's the worst engine I've ever messed with. That old engine that they've been using since
Unreal
Battlefield
Engine?
3. No,
Wait, is it? No, it's not Unreal Engine. It's
an engine that they use for like Need for Speed. They've used it for
Is that Frostbite 3?
Frostbite.
yeah,
Yeah.
One of those
Frostbite.
The only game that I've seen use it really well
Bad Company?
No, well, Bad Company too, and but I don't even think that was the Frostbite engine.
No, I think it
and
was.
Battlefield 5, the recent one that came out. I really adore that game and how they used like the destruction mechanics in that game.
They actually, for destruction, they went down a little bit, I believe. I do think
Well,
that,
yeah, if you're talking about like Bad Company, where you could level a whole building.
bro, I'm talking about, by the way, Battlefield changed the game for destruction. I don't think there was any destruction until Battlefield came along and said, yo, there's a sniper camping, 2 tank shots, that shit is leveled. Fuck out of here. Like, I don't think any other game until then has done that. Like, those are some games to
I don't
me
think
that.
you can still do that in Call of Duty. You still can't do that.
No, actually, like, you throw a grenade, it blows the door open. Shit like that. I mean,
Look, a Battlefield 5, you threw a rocket at the side of a building, the whole front of the building would collapse off.
and then you got an entry point.
Staircases, you could see everything.
Pucho, do you remember how we came up with that strat? You could throw a bunch of C4 on the 4-wheeler and drive. We got this. That shit used to fuck
The whole
people
team
up.
would just throw all their C4 on the ATV and then just one alone, a hero.
It has to be a hero.
Drove it right on in rush. We drive it right to the point. Like half the health gone. We're like, nice, let's do it again.
That shit, man. Games like that, bro. But games for impact. I never played any of these games, so hopefully you guys did. Um,
I've only played Kentucky Route Zero a little bit. I don't even know what games for impact even mean. Like I have
for a
looking at this.
thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message.
I think I've played one of these games. Go ahead.
Through the darkness of times, tell me why. Kentucky Route Zero TV edition, if found, and Spirit Fryer from the
Fair.
Spirit Fairy. Yeah, Spirit Fairy from Thunder Lotus Games. And the winner of that is Tell Me Why from X.
I thought Disco Elysium was gonna be on there, and I was gonna go on a whole rant about why Disco Elysium's so amazing.
Never even heard of that game.
It's so good. It's like a detective game. It's like a point
Is
and click.
Disco Elysium out? I thought it was still early access.
No, it's a full game.
I mean, I know.
Hold on, let me see. When did it release?
It said initial release October 2019. Maybe that's also the problem. It's not
That's
even
also it
2020.
came out last year.
I want to play that. It's on PS4 already, right?
No, not yet.
Oh,
Not yet. But I suggest you wait until it goes out on PS4. Oh wait, it says it is.
right? That's why I
Wait,
said that. but
why
Maybe
have
it's
I
not
not
true.
seen it?
Stay lying.
Nigga always lying, bro.
Always lying.
Leave the room, bro. Let Cat join us. Fucking
Oh
up
wow, I
over here.
wasn't saying Doughboy's lying.
Oh,
They be lying.
what a
for the
twitch! I'm over here shitting on Doughboy.
Yeah,
Cat probably gonna cut this man.
yeah they're saying it's coming to PS4, PS5 2021. So I don't know what the hell.
So Doughboy, that's a definite buy for Doughboy. I can see that already. For that PS5.
Hey, after this Game Awards, I have some news stories I want to run through very quickly.
All right, so then let's just run through this really quickly because I mean there's a lot of categories here.
Yeah.
So best ongoing.
Oh my god, there's a ton of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to just
No, I'm gonna cut it. I'm just gonna choose after this one. I'm just gonna choose one more that actually makes sense. Best ongoing. No Man's Sky won it, and it was against Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, Destiny 2, and Apex Legend.
that game
And the
come out
only
like,
that's the only reason why that won best ongoing because of the amount of time it's been out. Because in my eyes, I think it should be Fortnite,
they won it last year. They'll be okay.
but you know,
No Man's Sky. No Man's
For me, I think Overwatch should be on here. It's my best on.
Yes. Yeah. I can't.
I could see that.
We played Overwatch 2016, I want to say, and we played the shit out of it. I mean, like this is before competitive mode came out. We were just arcade, just playing the game like crazy. Had a blast. Competitive mode came out. We played a lot. Had a blast. And I don't know, life happens, new games come out, we fall off.
Hilarious.
And then it was like 3 years we don't play Overwatch. A couple months ago, we busted out, and boom, we just started playing again. And it's like the game is still amazing.
Yep.
They've added so much. I don't know. I could talk about. We already spoke about Overwatch. I could keep talking about Overwatch. The game's awesome.
But yeah, for the most part, I think that's straight. That for the list, like most of this stuff is kind of redundant. Best mobile game, Among Us won that. Best community support,
That works. Yeah.
Fall Guys won that. I see that.
Yeah, I get it.
And
I like Fall
best VR, obviously Half Life. Best action, Hades.
Makes sense.
Best action / adventure, Last of Us 2. Best role playing, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Best fighting, Mortal Kombat. Best family, fucking Animal Crossing. And I guess best sim and strategy, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Which I've heard is insane.
Yeah, that game looks phenomenal.
Also
Just like-
crazy, my bad for cutting. Best multiplayer, Among Us.
It brought people together during a pandemic, man, like no other game. We're talking about this game shot past Minecraft for little kids. It's the new Minecraft for little kids.
I just think what it is that people like to lie and cause a lot of fucking chaos. So that game brought the inner demon out of a lot of people, bro. Like some people just want to watch the world burn on some Joker shit, and that's
almost
the
like a
game to do
board
it.
game. It's almost like a board game
Yeah,
put into a video game.
absolutely. Yeah, the game looks terrible.
Yeah.
From graphic, right? It's just the game design is so strong. It's phenomenal. I mean, it got people a bunch like it got like ALC and all these people playing on Twitch, streaming on Twitch. Which
Yep.
Like, it's an impactful game. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I played it with some coworkers and I played with you guys.
You could literally play it with anyone.
On your phone, PC, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
And
It's-
like skill, the entry level to get in is very low. Like
you just got to be a good liar.
Yeah.
That's all. This game's making you lie. That's all. That's it. But what did you want to say, Doughboy? Now that we're off this,
how do you
train.
guys feel about the Muso series? How do you guys feel about all these video games that we love and care about being turned into Dynasty Warrior clones? We have
I hate it.
Zelda games, we got Gundam games. Help me fill in the blanks. I know we have more than just that.
There was Dragon Quest. I bought
Fire
that
Emblem.
piece of shit. I was
Fire
hyped up
Emblem.
Dragon Quest, Fire Emblem, and then forget about it when you start adding in the anime.
The Hyrule Warriors, the one that just came out for Switch, is a Muso game, a Zelda game. So once again, one of my favorite series, Persona 5 Strikers, literally turning Persona 5 into a Muso game.
You're
And,
gonna buy it, of course.
Yes, I'm gonna buy it right away because I've heard that it's really good. Yeah, so I'm definitely buying that. Do you know what a Dynasty Warriors game is, Tony?
yeah, it's a strategy game,
No.
isn't it?
It's like the
No.
opposite of a strategy.
Isn't it
It's
like that, like top-down game where you have to pick and choose, like go this way to fight or go that way to fight? No.
You remember on PS2, there was a game called Dynasty Warriors, and there'll be just an endless sea of enemies, and you were like a general in an army, and you just go around, you swing like a spear or an axe
On
and
a
you hit,
horseback.
like,
And
there was
one,
and you
Oh.
hitting 30 enemies at a time. Blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it
All
now.
you're doing is mashing the same buttons.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I remember this game.
yeah. So they're turning Persona 5 into this, and it looks really well done. And it's also feels like Atlas once again, just like, oh, this series is making us so much money.
This
Might
shit
as
looks
well
like a
put out
Final Fantasy game too.
a quick Muso game. All right, so that one's that. How do you guys feel about Spanish people entering the Twitch arena and getting and breaking records? There's a Spanish guy
Spanish?
streamer called the Grief Gib, and he obliterated the all-time Twitch viewership records. He had 2.5 million people watching him at one time.
Damn.
Primarily Spanish Twitch. Like he speaks Spanish and he's breaking records like
Oh, I
Path
see.
Ninja.
Where's he from? Because I thought you meant like Spain for a second. You said his name is Grief Gib.
Grief G. Grief Grefg. Griff the Gref.
What? You just spelled.
His name is called the Grefg.
Oh. The Grefg?
Uh-huh. I don't know where he's from.
From Spain. It's
Spain,
actually
okay.
Spain.
But like he is changing the landscape of like what even could be possible on Twitch. And I just wanted to know, like, that's insane. Like that Spanish people just like took over Twitch real quick.
I mean, there's a lot of people that talk Spanish, and as someone that I've been watching more and more Twitch streams, there's a market for everything on Twitch. And now that you mention it, there aren't very many.
I think it's also the
streams.
language barrier. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of Spanish people that want to watch it, and it's mostly people like, YouTubers and stuff. It's English spoken words or whatever. Like, so when a Spanish person does it, yo, you just grabbed all of the Spanish people now are on your side. Like, it's like now you have such a bigger platform of information you got to put out because now you got people actually listening. And then the more and more Spanish YouTubers are out there or podcasters as well. Like if I spoke Spanish good enough, yeah, I'll do like a Spanish one. You know what I mean? Just to bring people in. But yeah, what he's doing. I mean, they got him here as his full name is David Carnavas Martinez. His genre is hip hop and rap. And under books it says Los Secretos de YouTube. I don't even know why I said it like that, but and he also got a nomination for Game Award for Content Creator of the Year. That's pretty.
Do you think this opens up like for people with disabilities like deaf, like this opens up those doors and like for there to be like a deaf community of gaming? Because I have a family member that's deaf, so I kind of think about that. There's a lot of deaf people in the world, and
As a
deaf community
creator, though,
stuff like that. Yeah, like there's a lot of people that they
that'd
do
be little,
sign language
that'd be
and stuff like
difficult.
that.
But I could
I
see
know the
that. But that'd be
sign at the same time, yeah. But I think that's another like just like we didn't really think about Spanish people. I think that's like another one. You got a lot of deaf people that also want to be a part of this. And I feel like once they figure out a way, I think that'll be big too.
I mean, the text, bottom text, I guess, right? Like, but then how? That's weird. Like, how can
It would
you?
have to be somebody simultaneously either doing sign language on the side or I'm not too sure how that would work. But I'm just it makes me think of people with other disabilities and stuff like that.
But how can it? How can someone that's deaf, right? Like, not say, right? But like, put what they're thinking out without doing the sign language themselves. But then you're saying bring somebody else to do it. Like they will have to hand
Yeah,
them and
it's
then them hand you. Like
but I was
that's
just thinking, it
difficult.
made me think of people with like disabilities and stuff like that, and how could they be incorporated to Twitch, and how could they like? Because I feel like there's like a pool for everyone. It's like everybody has their, you know. I'm not sure how I'm not doing a bad way of describing it, but
I understand that there's a market for
Everything,
everything,
yeah.
and there's people that are cut out right now because they just can't play games like or watch TV or listen to things the same way. Like I remember there's a story of this kid. He wanted to play Ocarina of Time. He was blind. He can't see, right?
Yeah.
And he was on these message boards, and basically this whole message. I don't even remember where this occurred. Maybe it was like Reddit or GameFAQs or something. But basically, they helped this kid with super detailed information, like you're gonna hear this and blah. And they mapped out the whole game from him, like from an audio, and he actually beat Ocarina of Time, like just
that's incredible.
without And he's blind, right? Or visually impaired. I'm not sure what the right terms are for having a disability. But yeah, and it's stuff like that where like they're The Last of Us, if you go through their accessibility settings, it's insane.
That was
They have
incredible.
stuff for people that can't see at all. They have stuff for people that have difficulty seeing. Like, some people are colorblind, and there's an assortment of ways you could be colorblind. There's different ways where you can't see little details. They do a lot of things, both from an audio perspective to like lead you to your goals, as well as for people that can't see as well. Even physically, like just even simple things like they have, I think, an auto fight mechanic for you, and you only have to do certain inputs, or
I
like
didn't know
instead of
that.
having to like mash the attack, you could just hold the attack down. They have a lot of cool stuff
That's
like
when
that.
I used that one, the hold attack instead of mash,
Yeah.
because my fingers hurt when I have to mash buttons. I don't like it anymore. I'm like,
Yep. If I could go back in time and change the microwave scene in Metal Gear Solid 4, so I could just hold the button down, it'd be
oh
vastly improved.
my god,
It would
you
be vastly improved.
murdered me. That area was like murder, dude. It was literally like 2-3 minutes of button mashing. It
If you
was
slow down a little bit, Snake dies. You're like, come
what
on, man.
it was the ladder scene, but in the new game, basically.
At least the ladder scene you can hold up. He just goes up.
Beautiful, sweet
Wait, what
music.
game was that?
Uh, Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid
Oh
3.
yeah, yeah. My bad.
Has one of
Saying
the
bye to the
best.
wife.
It's okay.
Hey man,
It has
gotta
one
do
of the
what you gotta
best
do.
intro music like ever. It was sung by this I don't know, her voice though. Um Probably one of my favorite video game intros. Every time that game comes up, I will let that intro play out.
Yep. There's a bunch of games that I did that for. Like I remember when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, I remember loving that music, and I even Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, I would like let the music play out before every time I booted the game up. Metal Gear 3, Chrono Cross. Oh my god.
Even Mario 64, the main menu music.
Oh my.
Island menu theme was good too.
Yo. I'm sorry, I just saw something on Facebook. The big some big ass pothole shit that's just destroying all cars.
What Mass Effect games have you guys played?
None.
Zero?
Zero Mass Effect.
Well, now you guys will get to play it. It's coming March 12th to PS4 and PS5. So you
I'm
guys
looking forward to
will have no excuse not to play one. And I will say you can skip over the first one, in my opinion, because I never played the first one. So
it.
that
Why
they
didn't you play it? Because everybody says it's the best Mass Effect.
Fuck.
no, it's not, because the second Mass Effect game is considered the best game ever created in like Metacritic history. It's like has the
Sure.
highest score. Um, what is it called when you're sent on a mission that you are for sure gonna die in and you are not gonna come back?
Suicide mission.
That's what the whole premise of the second game is. And it does that so fucking well that it just I like the third game, but there's almost nothing. I've never seen a game except for FTL maybe that had that level of it's probably one of the best in my opinion. It has this very good, and it's good to start off in because you can make decisions. They had this thing because it came out on PS. None of the other games were on PS3. So it's like, how are we going to introduce a Mass Effect series at the second series and introduce it to new PS3 players? So they created this thing called the Cerberus add-on. And basically, before you start the second game, you make the major decisions in the first game. So they say, oh, they give you a little story, like 15 minutes, 10 minutes long. And they're like, hey, what would you do if something like this happened? Would you save this person or would you save this person? And you can make those decisions. And that way, for the second game, because that's what this game is mainly about. The decisions you make in the first game are gonna have some sort of effect in the second game. The decisions you make in the first and the second game with that same save, you're gonna go into the third game, and it's gonna make a lot of decisions for you in that third game. And that's like the one that leads up to the big war. And everybody was fucking upset at how that game turned out. So upset that they had to redo the ending. And they gave you like an extra 5-6 hours of gameplay. So, like, I would suggest if you guys are interested in it, the second game is like out of this world good.
Yeah. I plan on playing it. Unfortunately, I played a little bit of. I guess when I say I've played zero of those games, is that I haven't actually sat down and played through them. I played like a little bit of Mass Effect 3 or 2. I don't know, one of those two. And I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of games that are like shooters where like you're shooting enemies and they're just like bullet sponges until they die. I don't know how to describe it. It just like
That's
I
one
don't
of
know.
those games, yeah.
I know, and that's something that turns
Bar,
me off.
a bar of health above their head, and you're
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
talking about Borderlands, Destiny,
Borderlands,
those fucking
Destiny,
games. Yeah.
and Borderlands is a little deep. Sometimes the enemies react to stuff that makes it a little bit better, but yeah, Monster Hunter, Gears of War, where these enemies you're just shooting them right in the face and they're just like and they're just eating all the bullets, and their health is ticking, and then it goes,
Yeah,
and
I
they
hate that shit.
collapse, they're dead. It's like, oh, I don't know. Even like Fallout is like that in some regards.
Mhm.
And some of these games I enjoy. Like I enjoy Borderlands, I enjoy Fallout.
Fallout New
So
Vegas, game of all
hopefully I
time.
enjoy Mass Effect. I don't know. I just love like playing Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. You'll shoot a guy in the arm, and now they can't use that one arm. They have to pull out the pistol with the other hand. And I just thought that was so amazing. You know, they pull up their walkie, you try to hit them in the head, you miss, you hit the walkie, and then shit, the walkie doesn't work. And now they can't
Yeah.
call for backup. I just thought these things were just so
Hideo
cool.
Kojima was like the king of that. Like, oh, but wait, but what it he I don't know. He did that very well.
No,
Like
definitely.
he thought past just that interaction. Like, how could I make it different?
That's why
So
Metal
that
Gear was so great.
everybody had a different Metal Gear story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 1 is my one. 3 is my next one, but
Three
2
is-
is the one that for me was
Like, are we saying like that it grabbed you, or like what are we saying when we say like everybody has a different story?
it just Metal Gear for people that like those games. Everybody has one game that has impacted them in some way that they thought, oh my god, like this is like incredible. For
But
me, just
yeah.
playing Dale.
No. Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. Like, I think, because I was just trying to figure out like, is it just because of like it drew you to the game, it captured you? Like, because to me, I think 3 really hit it for me. I played 1. 1 was cool. I think that's what, like, oh look, this guy's hiding 3D pixel type
When
shit.
did you play one?
After my uncles played the shit out of it.
So like around the time it came out. You said?
Yeah, like a year after.
Okay. Cool.
Like,
cool. No, this is-
Yeah. But 3 definitely got me, and then, which kind of brought me back, like, because we played the other ones too. Like when he dropped the Ground Zero, do you remember that one? That was fun for me. And then of course when Phantom Pain dropped, like you and me were having like, oh, who can do it the quickest and the better, yeah. That to
That's
me
the
was
best
fun
thing about keeping a timing and stuff. That's my fun. Like, I love when games do that.
because you challenge each other. Like I think I on I recorded literally a section of like where we did like, you had, I forgot what it was. You was on the side of the cliff. You had to grab somebody and get out. Like I did that shit in record time, and it was S rank. And like I don't think, to me, I think that was like the best time ever. And then Pucho picked another one. And it was like, oh yeah, look at this best time. It was like, motherfucker, now I gotta like it was great.
Did you guys hear that on the PS3 version of Phantom Pain, they disarmed all the nukes online, and they got the special cutscene?
Yeah,
Like,
it happened like last year.
it was like, it's like some late end game thing that, like I said, Hideo Kojima's like a brilliant dude. Like, he even thought about the game years in advance. So like the online end game is like, you could either arm nukes, you could be on the team that arms nukes, or you be on the team that disarms nukes. And enough people, they knew by data mining that there was special cutscenes for like the whole entire user base.
Yeah.
So if you boot up a PS3 version, you've never played it before, there's gonna be like a cutscene that very few people have seen,
Yeah,
and it's for like all the nukes being disarmed.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the multiplayer, like the forward operating base thing, where you
Yep.
could like invade someone else's base. You could disarm their nuke. And yeah, so then some people were just creating nukes, which takes a lot of resources. We all created nukes because I think there's a trophy for it.
Yep.
I ended up creating a nuke, but yeah, there's a whole meta in the game where like there's people that create nukes, people that disarm nukes, and I think there's 2 special cutscenes. If the world creates an X so many nuclear bombs, I think there's like a cutscene where like they're like, oh, there's no more hope for the world and blah. Like there's like one of those, and if you disarm all the nukes on the whole internet, which is like, it was crazy hard.
Almost
Um,
impossible if
yeah,
you
I
have
can't believe it actually happened. It must have happened because
like I
nobody was
said,
playing the game.
PS3
Yeah,
Phantom Pain. Like nobody was playing that shit on the
yeah,
PS3 by then.
yeah.
One more news story before we end. I actually wanted to try this game out with you guys. It's had like a resurgence, and literally every person has been playing this game again, and that is Rust. And they have servers where you role play as anything that is in the real world. You could be a police officer, you can be a judge, and you have a court office, and you have a bailiff, and everyone is role playing in these servers. You merchants, all sorts of things. And it's had a resurgence in like the past 2 or 3 weeks, and everybody's been playing it. And I thought it'd be a cool game for us to all to play.
Yeah, I'd be down. I saw a lot of streamers started streaming Rust again, and yeah, there's all these private servers with all these different crazy stuff happening on.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played it.
Basically,
I
Rust is
mean,
like the forest, but different.
You see, they're coming out with a
yeah,
Forest 2, though, right?
Yo, the forest.
And it looks
I haven't seen it.
crazy good.
It looks nice. Like it looks amazing.
We beat the shit out of the Forest. You guys kind of hated me too because I was out here on YouTube and low key shit. Thinking how to get the crossbow or.
Yeah, that
But
was
nigga, there's no.
I fucked that game up for us. I apologize about.
How did you fuck
Because,
it up?
because at the very end of the game, spoilers for the forest, you find this whole facility.
Yeah.
You fight this boss. It has something where you find your son, or it's something
Yeah,
like that.
you
I
find
don't
your son. He
remember.
was dead already.
You have two
Right.
options.
Yep.
Then you ride the elevator, and when you get to the top, you have two options. And I thought that because Tony was the hosting the game, it was only going to be like his choice. So he picked the choice, and you and,
Pick the
and
same
Zeus,
one.
yeah, they all picked the same one. And me jokingly, um, I think I accidentally picked the other choice. And my game ended, and y'all games continued. There was more
Yeah.
game for you with that choice. And then I was like, yo, shit, my game ended, blah, blah, blah. And then I tried to load back into your game, but I was still like in that area. And I was basically just stuck. I tried to go through the game again, but then I think it was trying to force me to fight the boss, but you guys couldn't help me, and it was too hard. And it was a whole thing, and it kind of fucked the game up. I never got to finish the game, like to those extra parts that
Yeah.
y'all played.
And then we just stopped playing it at that point.
Yeah, it
I
really
beat
sucked.
it. You know what I mean? There was just some end game stuff, but at the end, we saw what there was to see.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game. It was
And-
cool. It was too many enemies. God damn.
Yeah.
that was
So ridiculous. Like it got to the point where we were just cannibals because there was no way to sustain ourselves with food and just being attacked 100. It was like, all right,
Yeah.
we're killing all these enemies.
And we're
We're
eating
gonna
it
break
up.
all their legs off. We're smoking the leg. We smoked everything.
dried foot.
That dry foot. Yeah. You smoking foot out here.
A1 best meal you could have on that part.
That pecan meat.
That dried foot pecan. Yeah.
Oh man, nah, those are great games.
Successful episode.
Yeah.
I have one question that I wanted to ask is what's your most anticipated, I guess it could be any title. Me, I tend to play most of my games on PlayStation, so I'm thinking mainly PS5 titles, even though I don't have a PS5 yet. What are you guys' most anticipated game? Like just not necessarily for 2021, just in general, like for the games that are coming.
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh wow, thank you, Dub. I'm still waiting for it, but Returnal, I think it's called. Like
That game look cool.
that game looked cool. Like, you're just replaying and replaying. Every time you replay your life and death, like there's a new piece that you figure out into the game. I still haven't be able to purchase fucking Cyberpunk. Like I still kind of want to get Cyberpunk as well. Other than that, I don't really remember that many games that's coming out for it. that I cared about.
Cyberpunk was such a disappointment, man.
I heard
I
it's
played a little bit, and I thought the game was incredible.
That's what I
I
heard.
really enjoyed the gameplay. It's just there's so many bugs, and I'm just waiting. I'm playing it on PS4. I played maybe like the first 4 missions or so of the game, and then I've just done a ton of side quests and stuff, and I'm enjoying it. I think the world is cool. I love the cyberpunk. It's silly. The name of the game is cyberpunk, but that game is a genre of stuff like Blade Runner, cyberpunk, Shadowrun is like cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is a cyberpunk game. I love that genre. Um, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to when all these kinks get worked out and I can
Mm-hmm.
go back and just like play through it.
you know what's crazy is that I just looked up right now, and Insurgency, which is a PC only game,
Wow.
is coming out for the Xbox and PS5 in 2021. And that,
Isn't Insurgency like a multiplayer game?
yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
We played that game back in like 2007. If
It was supposed to be like the Counter-Strike killer.
But it looks crazy better now. Crazy. It's like more
Yeah, no,
realistic.
they've done a lot of work to that game.
Way more
It
realistic
says
now.
initial release 2014. It cannot be.
They've
No,
like
it's Sandstorm. It's Insurgency, but they call it Sandstorm, like the
the
title.
new version.
Yeah, but it looks
Oh.
crazy on PC. A lot of people are playing it. I have it on PC as well, but yeah, that's like another one of those games. There's also another PS5 game that looked crazy, and I don't know if you guys seen the trailer where it's an astronaut with a little girl holding that astronaut's hand or whatever, and you're looking at planet Earth. I'm trying to remember that game.
Oh, that one was interesting.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I'm trying to.
That almost looked like a Hideo Kojima game. It kind of reminded me of Death Stranding in some parts, and I was like, is he going for like that weird again?" But
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
What
the.
a-
Oh, what the fuck is
What about you, Doe? While he's looking that up, what game are you?
I
most
can't-
interested in?
From what I've heard and what I hope, the next Battlefield game is gonna be a Bad Company 3. And it's gonna be on a new engine. And I'm like so excited for that. Like I cannot wait for something like that to come out because I don't know. I get into Battlefield games very like I role play a lot when I play those games and I really enjoy them as like multiplayer. I've never been into like the single player because even as a mod, Battlefield those style of games have always been multiplayer only. So like I care less about the single player, more about the like multiplayer. So like Battlefield, the next Battlefield's like super, super, super. I can't wait till that comes out. Um, I have not heard a lot about PS5 games, but like the new Left 4 Dead game seems pretty good. Like that seems like a game that I'm gonna enjoy with my friends.
Forgot.
Yeah, I don't think I can
It's
find
called
this game.
Back for Blood or something like that.
Oh, Back for Blood. Yeah, it's that's a 4-player, I guess co-op you could say. It's just like how he said it for Xbox, how it was for what's that game called again? You just said it. Xbox had
Left 4
that
Dead?
Left 4 Dead. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like that.
yeah.
It's
Which of those
basically-
games? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's funny. It's just basically Valve still being incapable of releasing a part 3 to anything.
Yeah.
Like they make a new Half-Life, it's not part 3. They make a new Left 4 Dead, it's still not Left 4 Dead 3. Even though that should be the next number,
Mm-hmm.
I'm salty. All right, I'm still waiting for my Half-Life 3.
Yeah, and you know what scared me is that I knew that Gabe Newell was like, oh, if we're gonna do Half-Life 3, it has to be just as groundbreaking as Half-Life 2. And that's why Half-Life Alex was VR, because it's like the next step. But I'm like, dude, that barrier for entry is so high that you like only made like certain amount of people play it. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the right way. I don't know. But I knew with what he was saying that it was gonna have to be in VR because and that's why it didn't surprise me that Alex was in VR.
So,
But I really
yeah.
can't wait till Half-Life 3 comes out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the game. All right, so I found the name Pragmata
Prime. Okay.
from
What is that game
Capcom.
about?
It's there's not a lot of information on it. It's supposed to release in 2023 from what it says on the site, but
Jeez.
yeah, bro, that game just caught me. I don't know why it just caught me.
You don't remember that trailer? It looked like it looked like the Dead Space guy almost. But he's like in Times Square, like scanning things.
Yeah,
Walking around, yeah.
that mask is definitely Dead Space looking.
And the fact that I'm shocked I never even made that connection is that I'm looking at him, he looks like the Dead Space guy. He looks like Isaac to me. And then the fact that he just said it's from Capcom. Isn't Capcom the makers of Dead Space? Or am I tripping?
Let's see. I think
Also-
it's EA.
Oh, you're right. It is EA. I'm tripping. I'm out of my
We're also forgetting Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, that last Ratchet and Clank was so well done. I can't wait to see what else these guys do.
Starfield's also coming out for the PS5. I think you said that earlier.
For me, I actually have a few games. My number one most anticipated game is Final Fantasy 16. It just looks awesome. It looks like they're gonna go for like similar combat that they did in like 7 Remake, and the setting is cool. They're going back to like a super fantasy setting instead of like the steampunk cyberpunk vibe. That's super cool. And I'm just most excited for that right now. But some sleepers on the list. Horizon, the sequel to Horizon is obvious. I don't even gotta
Yeah.
talk about that. I'm gonna get it and play it. There's that Death Loop. That game looked interesting. It was like the Dishonored thing, but like Groundhog's Day meets Dishonored. You keep dying and you come back to life. Obviously, that's what you do in video games, but it's somehow tied into the story.
Yeah.
It seemed.
Yeah, that game does look interesting. Although
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was-
like Dishonored.
Yeah, I never played those games. I never heard.
It's like a first-person Metal Gear, and it just
Yeah. No. I'm very familiar with the games. I just never. Yeah, I was broke as a joke when all these games were coming out, and so I just wasn't buying games like that. And then by the time I was getting into games again, it was like
It was
it
too
just felt like a
outdated.
yeah, that's how it felt. The Hogwarts Legacy,
That looks good.
conceptually, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like I'm not even a Harry Potter fan. Like I'm not.
Have you watched any of the movies?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I've watched like I don't know. There's like 7 or 8 of them, maybe like 6 of them I've probably watched. They're good. They're good. And I like the Harry Potter world, this whole wizard thing. The fact that they're making it an RPG, in the setting is cool. Like you're in a school. It just seems like you could make something really cool there if you do it right.
Yeah, if you do it right, you just got to do it right.
And yeah, there's a new Far Cry, which Far Cry is usually very hit or miss for me. But if it's hit, we're gonna be on there playing co-op, and we're gonna have a blast.
I don't know, man. Far Cry, that last
fell
one.
off a clip for me.
Yeah, it just.
And
I
like
love Far
quality.
Cry 3, and didn't we play the shit out of Far Cry 4?
Yeah, we played a good amount of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Dying Light 2, I'm looking for.
Hey.
Four-player co-op. You know?
Hopefully, Doughboy's down with
Get
us.
ready to the next checkpoint.
Fucking, this guy left us. You abandoned us on that game, bro. And you the one that told us to get it. That was the worst part.
Classic. Joey gets us to buy a game, and then he just sleeps, and then me and Tony end up playing it. Like,
Yeah. Oh, also, there's another game too, which probably seems crazy, but it's the game called Stray. It's developed by Blue 12 Studio, and it supposedly releases in October 2021. But it's about an adventure as you play as a cat with a world filled with robots or whatever, and
that looked cool.
and you
I
get
saw
to
that.
see through a cat's eyes, like the world. Father ears are on a massive high level right now. But nah, yeah, those are definitely games. Also, that one game looked weird. It looked interesting, but it was weird. I don't think I'm gonna get it. Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, I don't know. Never heard of it.
No, it's definitely a weird looking game, but yeah, Stray is definitely one of those games. Like I saw a cat and I was just like, "What the fuck is this about?" And then it's just like, okay,
Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo looks like Death Stranding meets Kingdom Hearts meets. Yeah, it just looks like crazy. I don't know. A lot of these games, yeah, I don't know. It's next gen type of stuff when these trailers came out. So
yeah, most
I'm
definitely.
looking forward to seeing what they're actually gonna look like, play like when they're actually released.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess that's pretty much for the first episode of After Hours on with my boys Pucho and Doughboy.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe, and more future episodes to come. Thank you guys and have a good day.
Later, guys.
Take it easy.